Hi, I'm Frank Gambino, plant manager here at the Murraysville plant. You're about to watch a training film about shop orders and material control. As you know, we have several corporate goals at MSA. Some of the important ones to all of us are to produce the best quality product available at the most competitive price possible in a timely manner, to provide the best possible service to our customers. That means having products our customers need when they need them, to maintain the best possible workforce through a safe working environment, consistent employment needs, and competitive wages and benefits. And finally, to accomplish all this while making a profit. To attain these goals, several things must happen. We must have correct routings and bills of material. We must have the quality materials to keep production moving when parts are needed. COPIX and the Materials Requirement Planning System, known as MRP, were installed over the past several years to help us accomplish these goals. But these systems and our other corporate systems are only useful when the inputs are timely and accurate. As you may know, our annual physical inventories over the past few years have been less than satisfactory. Our task force has identified several areas that may have contributed to inventory differences. Reporting of production labor, scrap, and other material movement has been identified as one area that needs improvement. The information presented in this short training session is designed to refresh your understanding in this area so you can do your best at your job. If we all do our best, we should be able to meet our goals. That is, producing a quality product at a fair price while providing good service to our customers. This will help us maintain our share in the competitive safety market while maintaining employment and profit levels.
Hi, I'm Tom Smith, Financial Systems Coordinator here at MSA. My introduction will tell you what we plan to do and some of the topics we will discuss in this training session. We will go over some of the basic concepts of COPIX, MRP, the concept of a job shop, and how to keep a job in balance. Our mechanized manufacturing system is called COPIX. COPIX stands for Communications-Oriented Production Information and Control System. The objective of COPIX is to provide more timely and accurate information to those who need it in our manufacturing and management areas of the company. This should help minimize out-of-stock situations on needed materials in manufacturing and help us to plan for our manufacturing operations. The other term you will hear today and around the plant is MRP. MRP stands for Material Requirements Planning. It is defined as a system designed to calculate requirements for materials by using bills of material, inventory and open order date, and master schedule information. From MRP calculations, recommendations are made to release replenishment orders for material and to reschedule open orders according to due dates and demand dates on the orders. In other words, the MRP system calculates what parts we need and when we need them. It recommends what parts should be made or bought. The two most important things that we will cover today are the concept of a job shop and how we control jobs. In a job shop, all production is planned by job or shop order. Sometimes a job has a specific customer, and sometimes the job is for a sub-assembly or a part to the storeroom or finished goods. These shop orders have the prefix F. We also have specific jobs opened for commercial customers. These jobs have the prefix B. Government jobs have the prefix A. There are other types of jobs for research, maintenance, and other situations. Our big concern in this session is the F job, or regular shop order. The important thing to remember in a job shop environment is that every piece of material not in the storeroom has been assigned to a specific job or shop order. Keep in mind that floor stock, known as an M location, is also considered a storeroom. Also, every piece of product, good or bad, must be accounted for on a job. When a job is finished, we must account for all material charged into a job before the shop order is closed out. We do this by taking the material out of the job in the form of production, scrap, transfers to other jobs, or returns to the storeroom. This brings us to the topic of balancing jobs. We feel that the accuracy of reporting has had a great impact on recent inventory results. Accordingly, we are providing this training session to help everyone understand what causes jobs to close with incorrect balances and to ask for your help in keeping jobs in balance. Sometimes accurate reporting will help our industrial engineers to find where we need adjustments in materials or task times. In any case, we will be able to manage our work and inventories better if we have the most accurate reporting possible. The information the systems give to the planners, schedulers, supervisors, and factory workers is only as good as the data we put in. In the following presentation, we will talk about two shop orders making the same part. We will show how everyday situations can affect jobs. These presentations are offered to make a point and are not directed at any individual or department. Watch how each action has an effect on the completed or closed job. We will then have a general wrap-up and open forum for your questions.
Now let's take a comprehensive look at two separate shop orders being created and tracked through the production floor. Although both shop orders are identical, the two shop orders take very different paths to closing in balance. The term closing in balance means all parts designated to a shop order are accounted for throughout the shop order's existence. First, let us look at what happens when a shop order is created. Distribution creates a demand on the COPIC system that generates shop orders to replenish their inventory. Once a scheduler has a shop order for a part, work will be scheduled to meet the demand on time. Next, a pick list is generated through the system so material can be issued. It is then printed in the storeroom and filled by the storekeepers. After the material has been picked, one copy of the pick list is attached to the material. The shop order number is on the pick list. Next, the material for that shop order is delivered to a staging area where it will remain until the job is needed to fill the schedule. The supervisor assigns the shop order to an individual and delivers the material and routing to be used. Under normal circumstances, there is enough material delivered to complete the designated quantity on the shop order. The operator assembles the parts and does any required testing. When the shop order is completed for the prescribed quantity, the operator must let the supervisor know that a production memo is required. The production memo is presented to quality assurance for acceptance. The green copy of the production memo must accompany the parts to the storeroom. Remember, every completed part must be accompanied by a production and loss memo or a material transfer slip before it leaves your area. The scheduler then closes the job, therefore keeping it in balance from start to finish. Now let's look at what happens when the shop order does not flow smoothly. We encounter bad parts, shortages, or a variety of other problems. The job starts out the same as our last example. The schedule is created and the parts are picked and delivered. If not enough parts are there, the job is already out of balance and will require some type of maintenance to get it back in balance. Let the supervisor or scheduler know immediately. If bad parts are detected, it is important that they be saved, evaluated, and the proper paperwork processed to remove them from the job. Give the supervisor the bad parts so they can be accounted for and new parts brought out to complete the original quantity of the shop order. You wouldn't throw this away, so never throw parts away under any circumstances. The correct part disposition path must be followed. Accounting for bad parts, then picking new ones, keeps the shop order in balance. Also, just as important to keeping a shop order in balance is a job delivered with too many parts. If parts are left over when the job has been completed, let the supervisor know so they can credit the excess material back to the storeroom and the order can close in balance. The excess material can be used later to fill a shop order that would not be released if the material was not showing as available in the storeroom. Again, a production memo must accompany the good quantity. If the end item product is bad, a production and loss memo must be written for the scrap to account for the original quantity. Keep in mind the steps involved in keeping a shop order in balance. Report any parts shortages to your supervisor. Don't borrow parts from another shop order. Write a production and loss memo for all good parts. Account for all bad components. Write a production and loss memo if any scrap is encountered on the end item. Return all excess material to the storeroom. Make certain your daily labor report reflects the correct quantity and shop order number. Remember, keeping a shop order in balance isn't difficult if these few important steps are followed. Please ask your supervisor if you have any questions during the process. Also, always remember that you are working on a specific shop order. Make sure your work area is free of parts from prior jobs and other current jobs. This will help you and your supervisor account for all parts at physical inventory time.
What you're reviewing right now is what we call an attract sequence. When the system is sitting in the retail location, not being used by a consumer, we are trying to provide some movement, some visuals to attract attention and to give a brief idea of what the system contains and what the consumer can receive from it. They are constantly invited to touch the screen to continue with the process of obtaining information. Anytime within the attract sequence, the touch screen is active, so I can touch it, and that will take us to a graphic that asks if we've ever used a project planner before. We can touch the yes or the no button. If we touch yes, then we will go directly to the main menu offering. If we touch no, we'll get a graphic presentation of a brief overview of what the system provides for the consumer. In touching no, you'll hear digitized audio and a graphic presentation.
Hi there, my name is Arnie, and I'm your Armstrong Project Planner. I'll help you with your Armstrong product planning needs. It's as easy as pointing with your finger. When I present you with menus, simply touch the topic of your choice. Project planning has never been so easy.
The objective of this sequence was to communicate to the consumer that they merely need to touch the screen in the area that interests them. That is the total requirement for interaction. Once they know that, they are presented with a main menu. On the main menu, we have 3 topic areas available: ceiling menu, flooring menu, and ceramic menu. They generally all offer the same kinds of information, so I'll go directly to, say, the ceiling menu. The ceiling menu now is broken into a sub-menu where we have product recommendations, plans and materials, installation, or questions and answers. I'm going to go now with the plan and materials. Arnie wants to know which type of ceiling I want to install, suspended or tile. I'm going to select a suspended ceiling. Once again, we verify that we can lower our ceiling 3 inches or more, which is a requirement for suspended ceiling. I'm going to say, yes, I can do that. At this point, we are offering a variety of room shapes. A consumer could say that their room shape is square, rectangular, or is neither square nor rectangular, which we are terming an irregular shape. If I pick a rectangular room,
Enter the feet for this wall.
as you can see, a grid pops up with the shape of a rectangular room there, and an audio prompt to enter the feet for this wall, and this wall is highlighted here, and we're also numbering it down here. So I'll say this is a 12-foot wall.
Now enter the inches for this wall.
And I'll enter 3 inches, 3, then the enter,
Enter the feet for this wall.
and I'll say 18,
Now enter the inches for this wall.
and I'll say 0 inches by just hitting enter. We prompt them that something's happening, don't get frustrated. The next question is which direction the ceiling joists run, because this affects the amount of material that they'll purchase. We draw their room in the perspective that they gave the dimensions and show joists running either direction. They simply select one of those joist directions. The next question asks which panel size I would like, 2x4 panels or 2x2 panels. I'll select 2x4 panels. When I select 2x4 panels, I have another decision I need to make. That is, which way do I want the ceiling panels to run in the room? Again, we give them a visual prompt so they can see immediately which one looks better to them. They would make a selection. Would I like to install fluorescent lights? And I'll say it for this moment, no. Again, we prompt them that something is happening. The end result of this interaction was to provide them with a layout of their ceiling based on the dimensions they've entered, based on the materials required. It lists all the materials they need for a suspended ceiling. It also lists the amount of, or the size of the border panels they would need. I was prompted to say I could receive a printout of this. I'll touch that. I'll go back to the ceiling menu and look at other offerings of information. We have installation segment. The installation segment is not particularly to teach people in detail how to install a ceiling. It is simply there to remove installation as a barrier to the do-it-yourself purchase. We give a very brief overview of the installation steps and in essence omit some of the detailed, tedious kinds of activities in this process. We touch installation. We're given the option of professional installation, do-it-yourself suspended ceilings, do-it-yourself tile ceilings. If I select do-it-yourself suspended ceiling, what I will invoke is a full motion video sequence that goes over the highlights of installing a suspended ceiling. That's the entire ceiling menu. If I go back to the main menu, look at flooring, you'll see the topics are the same. The specifics of what happens within it are a little different. There's different product recommendation sequences, pretty much the same plan and material sequence, although the answers are different installation segments, etc. Go back to the main menu again, and we also have an offering for the ceramic menu. I'm going back to the main menu. We have overview covered each of these main topics. I would like to cover a hidden topic, and that's the administration menu. To get to the administration menu in this program, we touch in sequence the words Armstrong main menu. I'll do that now. If you hit the sequence properly, you're presented with a keyboard that asks you to enter your password. When you're finished entering it, you touch the enter key. If you've entered the proper password, you're presented with a control menu of a variety of things you can do from an administration viewpoint. I could view usage reports, who has done what within the system, how many times. I could print these usage reports to take home to my office with me. I could clear the usage counters. I can change the password. I could end the Project Planner software program. I could change the retailer's name. Right now it states Home Depot. I could put any retailer's name in there. The retailer's name is on the printout and also on the recommendation for the professional installers. This system can handle full motion video or not have full motion video. This toggles the full motion video on or off. I could copy my usage information to a diskette to take back and put into a spreadsheet in my office. I could change the store features, or I could return to the main menu. If I change the store features, and I'll demonstrate that, because this is customizable by location, I can select whether or not this location actually sells Armstrong ceilings, floorings, or ceramic. If I say yes, they sell ceilings, yes, they sell flooring, but they don't sell Armstrong ceramic, and I accept that. Because they sell flooring, stores offer their flooring to the consumers in a variety of ways. We give them choices of selling it and pricing it by linear feet, square feet, or square yards. I'll say square yards. Now when I return to main menu, you'll see there are only two main topics, ceiling and flooring. Ceramic has now disappeared. This just demonstrates the customizing features by location.
Hi, welcome to IDL Incorporated. This is a prototype shop. This is our Armstrong kiosk. I'm going to demonstrate the ease of maintenance. First off, we'll change the paper. As far as changing paper, you unlock the two side pods, reach inside, extra paper would be inside. Take the paper off the one side. The side opens, paper tray comes out. You'd reload your paper into it, put your paper back into the printer. Side locks on so no one can get into it. Of course, you have to put it on the right way. And then as far as the face, if you had to do any type of maintenance on it, you'd unlock the face. The face would then pull off. Set the face aside. Once you get inside, the power supply is inside, top corner. Shut down the power. Unplug both power plugs. And the cabinets themselves swivel. Remove your paper. Turn your cabinet to the side. Both inner cabinets are on polypropylene slides. Once the cabinets are turned, you can do all your wiring and all your hooking up from behind. Plug everything in, everything will be color coded so you know where all your wires go. Any unit could be pulled out at any given time. Once the maintenance was performed, the cabinets would then turn back into place. Cabinets automatically register themselves. Once your cabinet's registered back and everything's nice and tight, plug your two power cords back in. Turn your power switch back on, and your computer would reboot. Once you're all rebooted, everything's situated, take your face hooks on the top. It's a snug fit. So you tap it into place, and then lock your cabin up again.
The components within the kiosk are a Pioneer Laserdisc player. It's rated at 2400 baud speed. It's a serial connection. Below the Pioneer Laserdisc, we have an IBM PS2 Model 55 SX personal computer. It has internal to it an M-Motion card and a multiple serial card. Below the computer, we have on a slide-out tray a keyboard to allow for software revisions or other executing of programs. Below the keyboard, we have the IBM 8515 VGA monitor with the Yellow Graphics touchscreen adapter. The monitor is securely mounted to a form-fitting mount on the bottom, so there's only one way to place it in, and it restricts movement when touched. To the right of the monitor, we have an IBM 4019 laser printer with additional memory because of the types of printouts that we're generating from the Armstrong Project Planner. And then at the top we have a Roland CS10 speaker that'll give us audio output for our digitized audio within the presentation and the audio from the Laserdisc player. The internals of the cabinet are well ventilated. There are a total of 6 external vents, and the hot air is driven out with 3 low voltage fans.